Welcome back to the channel, Ginger Ninja's Movie Reviews. I am the Ginger Ninja, and these are my trashy Tuesday, nothing but 90s movie reviews. That's right, so all through November, I'm looking at 90s films. And this one is Shockemdead, which came out in 1991. Now, you may have heard of this one because it does have a certain name in it, which you may know. Anyway, look, before we get into that, I do want to say a big thank you to all my new and existing subscribers. I say it every week, but I honestly mean it. Thank you so much for your continued support with me as, I talk about these movies that some I like, some I don't. But what did I think of this one? Well, let's find out. So, Shockemdead came out in 1991. It was directed by Mark Freed. The film stars Stephen Quadros, Tim Moffat, Marcus Gruper, and Tracilords. Now, that's the name you probably do remember. She was an adult film actress many, many years ago, but since then she's actually become a very successful musician and actress as well. You probably remember her from the opening scene of Blade. She was also in a TV show that I think is underappreciated called First Wave, and many more. What was that? Crybaby she was in as well. So yeah, plenty of stuff. Anyway, let's have a look at the plot. And Martin is a total loser who makes a deal with the devil to become the world's greatest rock star. Yeah. So I'm going to put it straight out. There will be spoilers in this. So yeah, stick around. But this is pure 90s trash, but in the most fun way possible. It's a mix of 80s hair metal with a 90s vibe, and it's driven by rock and roll cliches and campy theatrics. The plot is anything but unique. It's a Faustian tale with a glam metal twist and plenty of cheese. It's one of those movies, if you go into it with the right expectations, you're going to have some fun. So let's rock and roll into the year 1991, a year that saw special effects blow everyone away with Terminator 2 Judgment Day. A new portrayal of an iconic villain graced the screen in Silence of the Lambs. And an FBI agent goes undercover to catch a gang of surfers who may or may not be bank robbers.
Ninja Ninja on the prowl, smacking on pretenders with a salty caramel growl. 50-second flicks, reviews hotter than the sun. Sword master underwater battles never done. Rocket shot, steady hand, cold as ice. Critics in the crosshairs, he don't think twice. Movie scenes dissected, sliced with precision. Beard game strong, legendary vision. Ninja Ninja, bare royal pristine. Voice flashing waves, no denying he's a king. Salted caramel lessons, leaves him in awe. Movie review, assassin laying down law. Ninja, barrel pristine. Voice slicing waves, no denying he's the king. Salted caramel essence, leaves him in awe. Movie review, assassin laying down law. Bare oil packed, ready for the fight. Where the sharks afflicts, he conquers the night. From silver screens to ocean depths below. Ninja reigns, that's all you gotta know. Bare oil stash glistening in the light. Mixed vodka with knowledge crafted in sight. Shark fin haters, they scatter per sight. Ninja's wisdom, looking dynamite. Legends we crafted from tales people tell. Salted caramel dreams in a vodka infused shell. 60 seconds flat, analyzing with flair. Ninja forever, ain't nobody compared.
Now, let's have a look at the cast. And Stephen Quadros, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, as Martin/Angel, has a memorable presence and delivers a performance that is appropriately over the top, matching the movie's campy tone. He really embodies the rock star persona with a wild energy, and there's something oddly charming and charismatic about his portrayal. Tracilords, in one of her early mainstream roles as the band's manager, gives the film a bit of extra star power and charisma, even if her character isn't exactly groundbreaking and her role is underdeveloped, which I feel was a missed opportunity to add another layer to the film. The character development overall is minimal. With most roles feeling more like stereotypes and fully fleshed out individuals. Even Martin's character, who should be the most dynamic, often remains shallow and leaves little room for emotional connection or genuine investment in any of their fates. Now on to the directing and the writing. And look, with Mark Freed at the helm, the direction is competent, but it is also a bit uneven. He does a very decent job with the tools that he has, especially given the film's small budget. It's clear that Shockemdead isn't aspiring to be a masterpiece. It's more about delivering some outrageous scenes, tongue-in-cheek humour, and a rock and roll attitude, which it delivers in spades. Speaking of humour, some of the humour lands really well and others fall flat. And often it comes off as forced or unintentionally silly. And that does make the pacing of the film falter here and there. It's almost like it's not sure which lane it wants to be in, comedy or horror. Yeah, and there are films that walk that fine line between the two, but this one kind of jumps back and forth, and it never lands in either one fully. Now, given the film's rock and roll theme, the soundtrack is appropriately heavy on guitar riffs, which enhances the atmosphere and gives the movie a very lively edge. The music is high energy and works for the storyline's rock scene setting. Now onto the effects, and look, it's a low-budget film from the early 90s, so Shockemdead has very little in the way of special effects. And it's not surprising given its low budget. But when it does come to the makeup effects, they do look okay. It's what you'd expect. It's nothing more, nothing less. Visual effects, again, cheap and cheesy and very much for the time and budget. You've got those electrical bolts that are blue and they travel around the character. You know the style, but it's kind of what you'd expect from a movie of this caliber. Rewatchability, and honestly, I think I saw this years ago, but damn was this a fun watch. I know I've said it has a lot of bad things with it, but it's enthralling and entertaining in all the right ways. So will I rewatch this one again? You can be pretty damn sure I will. Also, it's on Tubi, so check it out for yourself. Overall, Shockemdead is a mixed bag. It's got an entertaining concept and moments of enjoyably camp humour, which is offset by a lackluster plot and inconsistent execution. But like I said, it also has a lot of charm, especially for viewers who appreciate the B-movie genre, and are nostalgic for early 90s horror comedies. For horror aficionados who love a mix of rock and roll, cheesy shock value, Shockemdead may provide some guilty pleasure. For others, it may fall flat as a curious but forgettable entry into rock horror cinema. This would make a great double feature with Slumber Party Massacre Part 2. Oh, and it's a 90s rock theme, so you can be bet there are plenty of half-naked women. It was the 90s after all. Anyway, for a score, I would give this a 6 out of 10. There you have it. That is my review of Shockemdead. Have you seen this film? Let me know what you thought of it down in the comments below. If you haven't seen it, go check it out on Tubi. Like I said, it's a lot of fun. It's just got some flaws to it. Anyway, look, thank you very much for watching. I'm not going to dribble off too much. Please do hit that thumbs up button. It'd be much appreciated. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I do release a new review. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day. Bye. Never done. Fucking shot steady.